the recording. And yeah, I feel like, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I feel like every time I plug my webcam in, I have it at a different angle. So yeah, if it looks different than on when I did the last stream yesterday, that is why, because I keep plugging my webcam in and putting it on my second monitor different ways, different times for some reason. But yeah, anyways, we're continuing the kidnap turnabout. We have like 3 parts left of this case, so we should be able to probably maybe try and finish this today, maybe. We'll see how long it takes us to get this case done. But yeah, let's get into it. It should come up there. Yeah, there we go, because we live streamed yesterday and I haven't changed the game capture since then. So yeah, let's continue regrouping with Ernest Amano. Okay, looks like we've got the boot again. With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder. You mean the infighting between the kidnappers? Yeah, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy, and here's Ernest, and I forgot her name. Tell me it's true. Tell me that you've really found my boy. Why is her name again? Because I have forgotten. Where is she? There. Lauren Pops. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Amano. We found him earlier in the stadium. Then my little Lance is unhurt. He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang, aka the ferry. Poor Lance, it must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a... Let's talk to them, not evidence. The controls are so different from the previous games that is like slightly freaking me out. Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough. It was nothing. I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say I'm relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him. A letter? What letter? The way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know. Here, take a look at it for yourself. Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? Probably. My dear Lance Amano, may I come see you again, your beloved Viola? From Linda. We know Viola. We played Recipe for Turnabout. We know who that is. It's a very simple love letter. Oh hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company, Tender Lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me. Yeah. Let's talk to Lauren. Lance Amano. He loves me not. He loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try. Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through. I suppose, if they were me, then... I believe you said that you are Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct? Yeah, I am, but... Oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends, either. I mean, because... This isn't just any ordinary ring. It's a ring pop. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Ah, it's so wonderful. You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring? Yeah, he gave you a ring pop. So, which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided? Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know? My father used to work for Mr. Amano. And so Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud. I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. No. That's just a statement of that's just like a statement of facts. It's like saying Edric, Larry, and Phoenix all went to grade school together, because they did. See, your father was an employee of the Amano Group. What did he do? I heard his job was to fly around the world on Pegasus. Pegasus? Huh? Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. He had me there for a second, but now it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned. Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown sounds like the stuff legends are made of. It's been so long, I don't think I'd recognize him if we were to ever meet again. I'm so sorry, Lauren. But I won't give in to this sadness. I have to live. Yeah, Lauren, live. Okay, about the case. About this incident, but isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any of the incident. How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped? That's because of my woman's intuition. You base everything on that? I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange, it really must be destiny. She started fantasizing again. So what are you going to do now, Mr. Edgeworth? We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two. The kidnapper's hideout, maybe? The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout, but we're still not allowed in, remember? Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there's no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. Okay. Well, first. Achievement. If we go over, where are we going? Go over to here. Oh my god! Look who it is! I just got the achievement for seeing them. Look who it is! It's Maya, Phoenix, and Pearl. They say that couples who cross this bridge together will find happiness. Also, the Gay Water Land pamphlet says. So you think that they'd already be happy because they were able to come together? Logistics aside, I wonder who came up with this tale and when. This bridge doesn't look old enough to be the stuff of legends. Well, some things are better left uninvestigated, don't you think? Ignorance is bliss. Look at them over there. They're so silly. I love them. Love those guys. Look at them. I bet Maya wants burgers right about now. So let's go. Let's go to the kidnapper's hideout. Let's go. Hello. What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual out of the ordinary, sir. Why have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around the inside? Sir, Roger, sir. That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to allow me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir, and I couldn't refuse a request from him. Well, it looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following. Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir. What is it? The man in this picture, isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon? But the name here says Colin Deveray. Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Penny Dent prison. Still a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant, yeah. It appears that Colin Deveray was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison. What? Then what was he doing here? Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon. Yeah, that makes some sense. Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and his current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine, let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout. Yeah, I agree, we should investigate first, think later. More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room, so they got about 10 officers to help out and break the door down, sir. I see. I guess that means I get Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find. Yeah, let's go. Here we are. So this is where the kidnappers plan their foul deed. Wow, you were tied up for a while in the room next door. Kate, please, must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. Investigation begins. Let's go. Okay, here's the hatch. There's a trapdoor in this room too. It's not a trapdoor, it's an entrance to an underground passage, Kay. I know that. The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped his prison through here. Watch out, Miss Edgeworth. It's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? Maybe, but there were other broken mirrors in the haunted house, so if they brought this one down here, then shouldn't they have brought the other ones down here as well? Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. They're not even a single hair off. I'd feel bad using these because it'd be like stealing the perfection away. I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away. Literally. And I've got more signs for the rally thing. A sign advertising the photo rally, something I have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do, and I'm going to get my hands on the rest of the Badger family. You'll see. I think she already has Pink Badger and Blue Badger, so she just needs Bad Badger and the Proto Badger. She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Yeah. Cheap styrofoam cups. Looks like only 3 cups were used. Okay. And there's also some keys here, but 2 are missing and there's only 1 left. I wonder what this key is to. You got me. It reminds me of the key we found in the other room. That's it, this must be the key for one of those trapdoors. That wasn't a trapdoor, you only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it. Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one? I'm not having this conversation with you. I mean, wouldn't everyone call it a trapdoor, though? A poster of Gatewater Land is stuck on this wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige, Gatewater Land has it all, and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? No, really. We've got some chairs over here as well. Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers. There are 3 chairs sat around the table. Okay. So 3 people were here. Presumably. Lance and then the 2 kidnappers. Okay, is that everything? Over here? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Beyond this door is where the kidnappers held you have to get in the jump on you. Must you remind me? But it's the room where I got to see your awesome face. You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. Yeah, exactly, Kay. What else is in here? This must be when they dispose of old and worn out costumes. That's so sad. It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. Well, they have barrels like these just outside. Yeah, and? Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them? Water? There's an expectant gleam in their eyes that I'm about to dash. And what's over here? What have we here? Looks like a sword, a broken sword. Strange, why would it be broken like that? Who knows? Swords don't usually break on their own. That's true. Alright then, let's think about it in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. Yeah, probably. This door is fairly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. That doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up. I suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force. Hey, with that said, the lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent. But how is that possible after what the officer told us? Yeah, if the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked. So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be? Yeah, that's weird. We examined the sword and the barrels. No, not the trapdoor. The panel that hid the entrance to the underground is propped up wide and wide open. Be careful of where you step, okay? Only turn to the other opening once you know. Okay, we don't have anything else left to examine here. Okay, guess launch it? No, no. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that the broken prop side has something to do with the door. Because the prop side was next to the door. It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time. But the policeman outside said that it took 10 men to get it open. I know that was locked tight, despite it being not locked at all. It can only be because of this. Oh, you mean... Yeah, it was used to jam the door. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Hey, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed? So that's how the sword broke. Okay, that's been added into our court record. And then we've got, I guess, the folding chairs and the food cups. We can connect those. The common denominator between the cups and the folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of the missing costumes is also 3. Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers. Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible that there's a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. There's a proto badger there. I love the little like frame of just someone just like popping out of the little trapdoors. I loved it when like with the little like when Kay was just popped out of the trapdoor. It was so I feel like that's just such a like little cute like little like screen cap thing, like a little cute little image. Oh, what is it? Oh well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We badgers also make use of it in our duties. Look, why don't you get out of there first and then we'll talk, okay? I beg your pardon, miss. Photo time. Photo badger, get! Alright, only one more to go and that's the bad badger. What are you getting all excited about? Did you forget the photo rally? Duh! See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the bad badger and I'm done. Ah yeah, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. Okay, it's gone into the other room. What is gone? Where did it go? What happened? What's wrong? A bad badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnapper stole it. I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken. What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me a little bit more about these costumes you use. Yeah. What did you mean by a bad badger costume is missing? Well, just what I said, sir. We are 1 bad badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park, the other should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room. Oh, what do you mean? Normally we don't use the bad badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's a stage show where the bad badger wreaks havoc around the park, and the other badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume. Then doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the bad badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to the show time and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I to do, sir? All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total. Then are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers? No, I don't think that's very likely. Oh? Recall the costumes for a minute. The stolen ones, you mean? What proves that 4th kidnapper doesn't exist? Well, I'm guessing it's because that there's still a pink badger costume.
Take that!
If you had 4 people and you wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a pink badger costume instead? Yeah, that makes sense. And yet the kidnappers decided to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, but the question is, why? Why would that be? We counted Bad Badger costume pieces. That's the only ones we have, so let's get those. The second Bad Badger costume, I believe it may be closer at hand than we think. What do you mean? That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that he's wearing some very telltale pants? Hey, right, let's get it out there and take a look. As I suspected, it's a Bad Badger costume. Well, minus the head, which was in the other room. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay. But yeah, the Bad Badger head is in the other room where Edriff was when he was tied up. So, look, its hand is hurt. It looks more like something was ripped off in it. I wonder why this Bad Badger costume's right hand is torn up like that. Maybe it's a flash wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. What an angel. I got something. Charger. Why do you want to go out, Mog? The cat wants to go out. Moggo! Mog, come here. Hello. 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 Can you see her? You can see her tail. Hello. Hello, you want to go out? Come on then. Come on. Go out. Go out. I drew something else as well, but I can't seem to see where it went. Yeah, I'll find it later, I can't be bothered. Okay, let's get back into this. Maybe it's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. I always knew the Blue Badger was one ferocious beast. I somehow doubt that even real badgers are as bloodthirsty as that. Okay. I guess the deuce? We got the deuce. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I pulled? Maybe? Sometimes that... Oh, is that where the... Oh, it's the gun attached to the costume, maybe? And it was ripped off, maybe? Let's present that. I believe what we have here is an inconsistency. Between what? Look carefully, our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be. Oh, the gun. And the gun's real. I thought they would be fake, seeing as it's like a theme park costume. Precisely, the Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However, Peter, did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought, the rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun, yeah, like I thought. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. It seems that our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend. Okay, our investigation is complete. I think we're about done with this room. So what's next? Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, okay? Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Mr. Edriff, sir. Nice gumshoe. Here he is. What's got him so pissed? You've got to hurry, sir. Come on. What is it, detective? They found a Blue Badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir. What? Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing? Bingo, that's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolfby does, sir. Alright, let's make haste to the main gate. Okay, to be continued. That first part was actually shorter than I thought. I thought that would take like another hour, but no. Okay, we're back at the entrance. We're back at the entrance. Where's the costume detective come through? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Okay. What is out here? What was it? Where can I words? Where can I words? Was it out here in the open all along? No, it's discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Then let's get down to it. I won't arrest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. He says that all the bloody time. What's that in it though? What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And here, this pretty baby is made of platinum and silver too. Is that like... Oh wait, is it supposed to be like 2? Is it supposed to be like 2 pendants? Like a Pegasus? Like, is it supposed to be like... Yeah, like a pet with a horse and then like a Pegasus and then its wings like separate. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two... Who did it right there? Oh, is it Lang? Of course it's fucking Lang. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you can see. Lauren. Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. Lauren D. I mean, we have a Lauren. But her name is Lauren Pops, not... Unless she changed her name to Lauren... Unless her name's actually Lauren Deacon. We have you now, Miss Kidnapper. Now you don't understand, Lolly. I can't believe you are one of my kidnappers. Lance. Oh, come on, Lauren. You're kidding, Miss Pops, you were one of the... Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Why can't I words? Yeah. It was me. I held Lance hostage. Why would you hold your own boyfriend hostage? So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. We've known that I can't call this case solved or over. Yeah, motivation. Hey guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Could that actually be the gun off the Bad Badger costume? You know, the one that only fires blanks. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? The officer's gun doesn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yeah, I killed him. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Objection! Smug ass bitch. Agent Lang, it's too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops. Yeah? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, and from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough? It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Is there some reason why you can't? Did like Lance stage his own kidnapping or something? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as a losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear all about the evil deeds you committed today. Okay. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth? Yeah, it is. If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a little bit too improbable in her confession. Okay, let's see. What can we go for? What can we... Let's hear more about this. Let's hear more about why Mr. Deacon would want to kill Lauren. Why do you think he did? I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops. But Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Was there ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely, huh? I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you. But why? We were total strangers. It's not common for people to kill each other over money. Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you? What do you mean? You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to kill to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. And I'm gonna say dependent because it says Lauren B. Why are you showing this to me? So what about dependent? This pair of wings along with this piece of evidence shows who you really are. Oh, Deveray.
Take that!
No, Deacon. These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right, they're the same colour, they even made the same material. I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Eh? Shall we give it a try? Well, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's? You're a smart lady. I'm sure I can imagine why that might be. Well, no, that can't be. So, the two make a set. Ha, it's just another trinket. It's not so this changes anything. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. This. Because it says here, sole daughter. Lauren is Colin's daughter.
Take that!
Dun dun dun. Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. What, an alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Deveray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind our pendants. This sole daughter. Mr. Deveray had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops. That's a lie. That person is not my father. You literally said that you probably wouldn't be able to recognize him earlier if he managed to come back into your life. He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? What are you laughing at? And what is so funny, Agent Lang? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? But what are you trying to say? You're thinking it's much too innocent. After all, I thought of another possibility, and what is that? Is it as so? Well, let's hear it. I've got you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the house of a Mano, and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that either one didn't know their true relationship, right? You mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right, as one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long hard look at the evidence. Okay, let's see. I mean, wouldn't there be more than two of them though? Because I'm gonna say, because those 3 costumes stolen, and well, now we know 4 because 2 of the Bad Badger costumes were taken. The 2 Bad Badger costumes were taken. And then they're only out at specific times. They're like the Blue Badger or Proto Badger or Pink Badger, which are out all the time. The Bad Badger is only out at the show, while the Proto Badger, Blue Badger, and Pink Badger are only out at odd time walking the grounds of Gatewater Land.
Objection!
This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3. The 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnappers' hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who is this mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. You know how I said earlier that I think Lance Amano, that I was joking about Lance Amano faking his own kidnapping? Let's present him! Let's present him. Lance Amano. Yes. And wait. See hi. I didn't know that. See hi. If you press C, it hides the text box. I didn't know that. Yeah, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he had said when he appeared before us. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But I know I only saw 2 people, which directly makes you a suspect to be the 3rd kidnapper. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them. Ah, yeah, but when you were being held, I had my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? Nope! I don't even believe you when you say something. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. Through the underground passageway, I presume? Are you okay? I'm sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. How can you not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor and because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see why he offers up when I push a little. Yeah. Come in. What? Let's see.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. The door was unlocked, though. That was just a broken sword. That was just a sword, you know, jamming the door, which you could have easily removed from inside the room. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony I mustn't let it go unexamined. The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway. Yeah, definitely. You said the door leading out was locked, but was it really? We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open. Right, Sheena? Yeah, that's correct. Then take a look at this. What is that, a sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not simply just remove the sword and escape? I was disoriented. Yeah, that's it, I didn't notice. As if I should escape. What can I say words? As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess a key to the door. This is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. And what would that be? A motive. What else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme, such as kidnapping himself? Money. The money. It's money. This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime. Money. This was not a love letter. This is not a love letter. Definitely not. It's from a loan company. Why would it be? Well, the envelope say Tender Lender Loan Company. If it was a love letter.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. In fact, it is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Looks like it's hard to be the son of a rich man too. Must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own old man, huh? Alright, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance! It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off of that 1 million, but now that dream is over. Oh, Lance. Then you are giving yourself up? Yeah, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you? Maybe he didn't want us to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. That looks like you're attacking him. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the blue badger costume. That made the person Officer Meeking saw was Miss Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a bad badger costume, took the suitcase with $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. I still don't believe that person was not my father, because if he was, I just killed my own father. Lolly, then it really was you? That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there's a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I don't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad, and without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true, I say she's lying. But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You would be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kate. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling a suitcase with the $1 million in it. And that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yeah, I got a very good look at it while it was pointing at me. Oh, Father, why would you try and shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Miss Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Is he even right-handed? Not that, wrong then. Oh no, he's right-handed. So, no, it wasn't. It wasn't Colin. Point straight at my knee, I'm about to die, I thought. Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yeah, of course. That badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead. But yeah, your father was right-handed. So why would he shoot it in his left hand?
Objection!
I have heard dozy on your father. And considers your father was right-handed. Then the person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Beacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The bad badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held his real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Agent Mac, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in the court to catch it. Enough of the smugness. Out of it already. Miss Pops told us earlier there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. According to you, the bad badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yeah, exactly. No, I'm sure it was the bad badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. Well, if that's the case, even I can see that there's a huge contradiction. Yeah, Miss Pops claims to have seen the bad badger, and yet the bad badger had both of its hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. But are both right? I don't see any of them being totally wrong. They're both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. But there were two bad badger costumes. Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. What if that bad badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the bad badger to freely use both of his hands. The bad badger head? The costumes have two parts to them, a head and a body. Oh, I get it now. The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the bad badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? A different badger? Yeah, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the badger Miss Pops saw was really this one?
Take
Yes? What the heck is it? It's the proto badger. Yeah, there's a simple amount of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue badger costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the proto badger costume? That would be Lance. Lance tried to kill Lauren, his own girlfriend. Are you seeing what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the bad badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon. On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing. The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim, it was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh? There's for one reason. Lance Amano, you are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What? No. That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Ha! Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto badger is bulletproof. When misfired, he would have found himself dead, right? Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And there should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure he wouldn't be hit by a bullet. I'm thinking maybe the missing gun from the bad badger costume that we saw earlier. We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where's the gun you use now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha, I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. That's in 5 minutes, by the way. Please, wait a second, it's simply not possible because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. She saw the victim in the state of being restrained. Yeah, sure. I definitely believe that. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? We thought that it attracted too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at the time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. Okay. Maybe press this one, because I don't think he was you next door. You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon you saw? Yeah, I am certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room to check? Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he is such a kind soul. Can you tell me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself? I've checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. Then that just had to be Mr. Deacon. She saw a Bad Badger head. The captain had a Bad Badger head. The captain had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon. But Edgeworth was tied up in that room as well. So couldn't it have just been Edgeworth instead of Deacon? So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger's costume. Yeah, and it would appear that she misread the whole situation. Well, now, should I raise an objection? Yes. The person you saw was not the victim. Well, why not? I will tell you why not. With this. This, Miss Pops, shows us that the person you saw was not the victim. The Bad Badger's head? Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. Us. It was me. Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? I also thought it was a bit odd. While the kidnapper abducted me, even after I had handed over the ransom, it's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there's a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right? That's... You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a Bad Badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together. Oh, so you pretended. What do you mean, he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the Bad Badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, and then escape by the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment, all of that could have happened while you were out cold. That's why you were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Ugh. Who said that? Please wait. Mr. Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance? It's not going to cause trouble for others. Dad? Let's see, you're the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? A Bad Badger suit. Is that what I think it is? It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing, and a gun and a bullet wound. 2 guns. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea. Oh. Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? Okay, the edit's in progress, but Lang, if everyone obeyed the law, there would be no use in having people like you know, Interpol, to investigate these crimes. And I'm gonna Take my phone off charge because it is pretty much done now. It's on 93%. Okay, there we go. There we go. But yeah, why would we need people like Lang and Gumshoe if people actually obeyed the laws? That would make no sense. And I need to check this got pink. I just hit my fucking elbow on my table, on my desk. I kind of words today, oh my god. Okay, I should be coming back in a second even. Welcome back from the ad, everyone, welcome back. There now. Agent Lang, please calm down. Why the heck is that scrap of paper? There's supposed to be a letter from the chief of police. Please allow Mr. Mano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. What? Huh? What? Why allow Mr. Mano to do whatever he wants and not Edgeworth? I don't know. The chief of police? Okay, just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. Oh, there now. There is no need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, Lang. Like, if I jumped on a plane to Spain right now, and I committed something else against the law in Spain, but not against the law over here. No, okay, let's got that. If I go over in America, if I go to America, and I jaywalk, and I get into shit for that, but I say, oh, I'm from England. That's not a law there. I'm not bound by the laws of America. I'm from England. I'll get into so much shit. So why, in Lang's case, why would that be the case for Lang? I don't get it. Now. This wasn't meant to strong arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on the costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you have no reason left to push my poor boy around. He admits to be involved in this shit. He's playing you, Ernest. Huh? That's it. These are the case-making pieces of evidence. I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny, as always. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Okay, we've got a revolver. This bullet hole. It looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is the most important fact. Why is that? Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. What the fuck is that in there? What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head, glass. Hey, they sparkle, but they're really valuable. Would that glass be... So, did the murder happen in the haunted house or in the ground bed with the broken mirror? But there's broken mirrors in the haunted house as well. Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Again, he's playing you, Ernest. He had something to do with this. He is not the victim here. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You ruined me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence? Cause this evidence is suspicious. Ernest? You know, fuck it. Ernest is probably just sticking up for his son, and you know, Lance is probably just fucking playing him to make him think that he's innocent. Like, what?
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I have the best forensics techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? Yes. Yes. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes. Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pops' prints should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pops' prints should not be on the gun is because she was wearing one of the stolen costumes. There should be no fingerprints on that gun at all. It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake, we found fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at any time? Those fingerprints were fucking planted. There's no doubt about that. Ah yeah, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. Those fingerprints were fucking planted. They were fucking planted. Okay. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. What? No way. I'm incredibly worried about her. But it doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium? The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. What would it be? What would it be? Oh, this.
Take that!
I was not reading the titles on this. I was not reading the titles on those pieces of evidence. Hello, Ollie. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it. And I'm gonna say the bullet hole because it is at point blank range, which means it was basically shot like that. Right up close. Right up close. So, but if it was shot from the stadium, then it would be from like there. Obviously, to a much bigger scale. Much like longer distance. You know what I mean. So the gunpowder marks from the gun would not be as prominent.
Take that!
burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Ulrich saw at the stadium really was... Yeah, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Look at you, Mr. Smart Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at, and just before I was in prison, was the haunted house. Dun dun dun. Wait, does that mean when Edgeworth went to the haunted house at the start of this case, and he saw that blue badger... Oh wait, no. I was gonna say when he saw that blue badger... It wasn't even the blue badger, it was the proto badger, but whatever. I was gonna say when he saw the proto badger like laying in the corner, that was Mr. Deacon, but then I remembered. And fuck's sake. You're doing just fine. My webcam was doing just fine. I was gonna say that proto badger that was on the floor was Mr. Deacon, but then I remembered that the proto badger got up and whacked Edgeworth. So that was probably what's his face? Lance. I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. That would be the real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is the haunted house. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yeah, and I've proved that it is highly likely that the victim was killed. Yeah, what proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house, and I'm turning down my music because I feel like it's a bit too loud. That would be the broken glass.
Take that!
This had to come in use at some point. These ones had the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. Wait, don't we have another achievement for this case? I swear we do. Other than, completed it. For having metal created the blue badger in front of the great gate wall land main gate. In episode 3, yeah. I feel like we have missed that achievement, but I can probably get that going back into this case and get that out another time. These were inside the costume of the victim. The victim was wearing the fragments of a mirror. A mirror? And what does that have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments, and that is the haunted house. Lance and Mano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the blue Badger-mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the blue Badger-mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Miles, my boy, say no more. Stop defending your fucking son. Stop defending your son and his girlfriend. They fuck shit up. I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yeah, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. We're right. We are right. I know that. Ernest, am I not correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Grabs. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these murders decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yeah, there's a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there? But there's no other fragments. There's no fragments on the floor. But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Long G says on Truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive. Proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? No! Actually, there's solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house. The answer is no. See? So since you don't have any, shut up. I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At the time, the only people at the haunted house beside myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted, but you're not to touch a single thing. Got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Sheena, I'm here. Put me in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Who was that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena. It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed. Read it out loud. Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for a lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash. What? How does this guy have so much money in cash? How? Why? How rich is this guy? How rich? Just give me an estimate, please. As you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house even. And can even wager I ran into the owner of the park earlier and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid, don't tell me it was. Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money? My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. That doesn't make it okay. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. I want to punch this guy in the face. Oh my god. Your son faked his own kidnapping and potentially murdered somebody. I'm gonna punch him in his fucking face. Oh my fucking god. That's the way things are, so if you'd please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is that to discuss? My permission to enter the haunted house, of course. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Did this guy murder Deacon? Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. This bitch. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Mouse, you should hurry on home now, my boy, if I really lose my temper. Mr. Amaro definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. We can't just fucking leave it. We have to go investigate the haunted house. If I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's only one thing you should do at a time like this. And what is that? When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me. For I am Kay Faraday, the second of the great Yetagarazu. But I thought you were a thief, not a hero. The Yetagarazu is noble and is always a thief of justice. That's, of course, if we have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Plus, if we then factor in everyone's testimony, you can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. We may be able to figure out some new information through this. It's worth a try. Agent Lang. So when you use your little toy, be my guest. Okay, hang on. You're all about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Detective Gumshoe. Is there a copy of the haunted house's blueprint among the police's reference documents? Yes, sir. We got it just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case. Alright, I'll just input the haunted house data then. Here we go. What is this? Where are we? It's like we're inside the haunted house. Even if we can't inspect the real location itself, the path to the truth slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate the way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene. Okay, what should I recreate first? You haven't figured it out yet? Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I'm going to make you do all the hard work. Very well. I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with a new lead. I just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. At that time, I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall. What was a badger doing all the way down there? I also thought it strange. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for our atmosphere. Do you know which badger it was? No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette. In that case, I guess I'll just program a badger silhouette in for now. Okay, programming complete. Then I started walking towards the exit. And that's when you were struck from behind, right? Yeah. But that's odd. The hallway is a dead end. Where did your assailant come from? There's only one location I can think of. I believe my assailant's lying in here. Wait, here in the badger costume. There.
Take that!
That doll I saw wasn't really a doll, it was in fact a costume kidnapper. Also, he used the costume as the perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house. Precisely, he went inside, made the drop-off, and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step forward towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. I can think of no better hiding place than this. Ain't not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself. Just don't use it to do anything criminal, okay? Why have I got ping? I just gotta do this thing really quickly. Did I skip over something that Edgeworth said? Whatever. Okay, there we go. Okay, what did he say? Well, Lance? Well, what are you asking me for? As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first. I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money. He didn't set foot inside. Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie? Alright, then you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me. Yeah, I'm sure it was him. Okay, employing the new info now. Mr. Deacon was the bad badger, right? Since the bad badger has a gun attached to its right hand, I have to change it so the weapon is in its left hand. Now, to verify the facts of this recreation, begin the investigation. Okay, there's us. There's silly little us there. And then there's the bad badger. And we've got the mirror here. When you take a look around, it almost feels more like a house of mirrors. Indeed, no one's ever heard of this many mirrors inside of a haunted house before. But at least we know this is the real crime scene thanks to these mirror shards. Hey, wait, these shards. There's something different about them. Oh? The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on the wall. And look, there's some sort of design at the back too. The pieces from that costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does that mean? Could it be that our pieces are not pieces of these mirrors? Huh. That's weird then. Okay. Badger. I remember glancing over and seeing this figure sitting there, sitting here as I left the dining room. So I guess I got it spot on when I put it here in my recreation. And I took a good look, but I'm sure that was a badger hair. Yeah. But I thought it was the proto badger, not bad badger, but I don't remember. Or was it the blue badger? I don't remember. Pieces of a set of armor in a pile here. Why do you think they almost always have sets of armors inside of haunted houses? I suppose this sort of interior design is meant to bring out a sense of the abnormalcy. Why do all of your explanations have to be so hard to understand, Mr. Edgeworth? They're trying to explain it again, but this time, so that even a thief like me can get it. That may prove to be a most difficult task. Okay. Let's examine this one actually. I imagine this is how he snuck up on you. The gadget of yours can even replicate people's movements. Well, it's used to plan heists, so of course it's got to be able to simulate the police. It's definitely very well made. Perhaps too well made. Maybe I should confiscate it after the investigation. Maybe. But it's also very useful and we kind of need it. You didn't recreate the weapon. Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. So tell me, what were you hit with? The attack came from behind, so I have no idea. But I doubt it was someone's bare hands. Okay, then where were you hit? I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. There's a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious. Ouch, sounds painful. Why are you smacking like that when you say it? It's just your imagination. Now let's see. I wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could be used as a weapon. I'm looking for something the couple could have used. To hit you with. The prop sword? The sword? Maybe. I have it. There's indeed one such object lying here in this hallway. A prop sword. Are you talking about this here? Yes, we are. Yeah, although we did find it at the kidnapper's hideout. Wait, yeah, it's possible that the culprit took it with him after using it off me. To leave no evidence behind, right? Correct, it may be worth a more thorough examination, yeah. Okay, so what test do you want to run in this sword? Luminol first. And then we can see if there's fingerprints on it afterwards. But wait, there would be no fingerprints on it though, because it was used by someone in a costume. The culprit was wearing a costume in that time, so fingerprint analysis is useless. Let's run a luminol test. It's possible that some of my blood will find its way onto this. Agent Lang, may I ask for your cooperation in this matter? Like I have a choice. Sheena, call the lab boys. Understood. Except for a dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless. So it must have been the left side of the prop sword that hit you then, right? Okay, update the recreation with this new piece of info. Okay, who's hit with a sword then? I want myself to have inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay. Okay. Degrees, I guess? Did we start? Is this spot somehow connected to any piece of evidence I pulled?
Eureka!
This here contradicts this piece of evidence. You know, I think you're overthinking it just a bit. Fuck's sake. Maybe I wasn't thorough enough in my examination. I must remain calm. If I was struck in the head exactly the way this recreation portrays, I believe that it would go against a certain piece of evidence. The broken pop sword. It's a piece that is definitely connected to this case. It's definitely worth a try. Do this again. Broken pop sword. Broken sword. Where is it? There.
Eureka!
Finally, I found a clear contradiction of facts around this sword. If I put it on the left side, this prop sword is absolutely spotless. However, if the culprit had used his left hand, the blood would be on the opposite side. The opposite side? Huh? If the culprit had the sword in his left hand, then the sword's right side would be here. I see, but the blood on the left side of the sword, right? Which means that he used his right hand to hit you. Exactly. This prop sword had a large handguard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing a costume with such big hands. Therefore, if it couldn't be in the left hand or both hands, it must have been in the right. I'll change the data to reflect the right-handed swing. Not yet, okay, there's no sense in changing anything yet. If you change the parameters to the right hand, it only create a new contradiction. Changing the prop sword to be in the culprit's right hand would conflict with what? This.
Take that!
The bad badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so he can't hold a sword in addition unless it was the bad badger costume that had the gun ripped off it. Hey, that's right then. What now? If it wasn't in his left hand or his right hand, it means that the one who struck me could not have been the bad badger. Are you paying attention, lads? Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me, which leaves only you as our primary suspect. Fine, it was me, I hit you. It appears that you lied to me yet again, but see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance. Wait, isn't Lance left-handed? Ah yeah, but that's what makes this deception all the more interesting. He used his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. They see finding a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult, but that level of dexterity isn't required to swing a prop sword. Okay, please import this new data. The one who hit me from behind was Lance, or should I say, the Proto Badger. You got it. Here I go. Now, we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me. Alright, all we have to do is examine this new recreation and... Whoa. And what exactly is so funny, Agent Lang? That musical gadget, it sure packs a punch, right, Sheena? Yeah, it was all I could do to hold my laughter in. Hey, don't make fun of little thief, you mean, old werewolf. You and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other. You've had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I've sat quietly by, listening. But the crude conclusions you two keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There's no guarantee that your toy will always show the real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right? But when you put it that way, your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm going to let you in on this. There's a trick to this haunted house. And what may that be exactly? A trick beyond what your tiny imagination can produce. Sheena? Here you are. Now then, what you missed, girlie, is written right here in this pamphlet. The 7 Wonders of the Haunted House, the Disappearing Badger. What is this? I think that someone around here is fond of theatrics. And as you can see, they set a doll down at the end of the hallway for that purpose. Basically, the blue badger you saw was just a stupid doll. Yeah, sure. How can this be? Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window. That can't be right. Maybe the culprit hid the doll somewhere, and then he laid down and pretended to be it instead. If the criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway, how could he hide a giant doll? Do you get it now? Thanks to your presumptions, your logic started off weak and led you to the completely wrong conclusions. Now get off your high horse. Mr. Edgeworth. Can I wonder if you could please input the new information for me? You don't know when to quit, do you? I can't quit, not until I can declare that I found the truth. Agent Lang, for the additional information, you have my thanks. There you go again. Well, see if I care. Okay, I'm updating the recreation now. Okay. With a blue badger, then a proto badger. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. That looks really weird. Look at how it changes from the blue badger into the proto badger all of a sudden. If the slumped over badger was just a doll, where was my attacker hiding? But that's what we're gonna find out, right? So come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Yeah, let's. This recreation can't be right, which means there must be a contradiction somewhere. Okay, yeah. Let's go inspect that new blue badger at the end here. I wouldn't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay. This blue badger is just a doll for use in this haunted house. I bet the one who killed this blue badger was the bad badger, right? According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy. All because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun. Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other, much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. Reference! Okay, got deduction. Got a little deduction right there. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I guess this?
Eureka!
Oh, that was the other way around. Hold on a second here, there's something wrong with this blue badger. Huh? Like what? The way the belt is on him is opposite of how it should be. Did you make a mistake? This can't be. I input the image data exactly as it is in the pamphlet. So then, why is the blue badger dressed in reverse? Logic. Okay, these are the only two things we can connect, so they're going together. Okay, do you remember what you said earlier? When I said earlier about what? About how this building might as well have been a house of mirrors. A house of mirrors? Oh, that would explain the reverse or mirror image. Yeah, this blue badger might be nothing more than the reflected image of a real one. Then, was the blue badger you saw just a reflection? When I looked down this hole, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, if there was a mirror, oh, then it would actually form an L shape, right? Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black, and there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway. Wait, why build this place like that? It sounds pretty pointless to me. Okay, this house is just another attraction and amusement park. They created a mirror wall for a very specific purpose, one I can point out to you. This is the reason they built. This is the reason they built a mirror wall. This, I guess. As it's written in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger. You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? But you said you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there. That was true at the time. However, doing this allows someone to make the blue badger I disappear in a flash. Move the mirror wall. To remove a reflected image, simply move the mirror. First, the mirror was constructed so that it could be moved. Then, beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created. Oh, so when they wanted people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror, and when they wanted to hide it, they simply had to close it again. This explains why the other side of these fragments have a design on them. And if the pattern is the same as the other walls in this hallway, then when the mirror is closed, it would blend in with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that this haunted house employs. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit. How so? Think about it, Kay. There's a place that was outside of my field of vision. The culprit kept out of sight. The culprit kept out of sight by hiding here.
Take that!
There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here. If my assailant hid on the other side of the movable mirror, then you wouldn't be able to see him. You didn't even need to do anything to the blue badger doll. Exactly. All he had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror. Wait, hold on. I just thought of something. Yeah? Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now in reality? Since we have a few shots of it, we can probably assume it is. Yeah, it most definitely is broken. The question is, when was it broken? Since we found these inside the victim's costume, that would mean that the victim was there when the mirror was broken. Wait, that sound! Leave the money and go, now. The mirror breaking. That sound I heard was most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Okay, I'd like you to input some new information. Don't scare me like that. Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me. Sure, whatever you need. So, what do you need anyway? If you could first recreate this hallway just before I enter the dining room. You got it. That would be like that. Now this, I believe this is how it was right before I entered the dining room. Although at the time I thought it was but a single straight hallway. And then I went inside. It was around then that I heard the sound of a mirror shattering. You heard what? Then... yeah, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken. Okay, so... then when you stepped outside into the hallway again, the mirror wall should no longer exist. Okay, please recreate that. Got it! Okay. Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit lost his hiding spot. So where did he go in his proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth? Ha, that's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway. I think this about wraps it up. Looks like we finally solved everything. But not yet, an even larger contradiction has now reared its head. What now? Huh? Perhaps you did not notice. But this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency. The inconsistency between what I saw in the recreation lies... the... hallway? Okay, take a good look at the end of the hall. Oh, there's no blue badger there. Exactly, the blue badger that I saw in reality is not here. This is the final point on this long chain of logic, the last remaining contradiction. So let me get this straight. When he came out of the dining room, he saw a badger, right? And that is precisely where the final contradiction lies. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? I believe this is the real identity of our mystery badger.
Take that!
The badger I saw was in actuality the victim's body. What? Agent Lang, the entirety of my complete logic is my final decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off. And you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon. No. Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was the life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway mirror wall was broken. Ha! You were in the house at the time, right? And you tell me that you missed the sound of a gunshot? There was a variety of sound effects playing at the time. All for theatrics, I assume. The gunshot must have blended it right in. Ah, yeah. Now then, I'd like you to recall something for me. Who was it that why can't I say words? Who was it that was with the victim at the haunted house? Ah. He was the one who had the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him. It was you, Lance Amano. Dun dun dun. He knew it all along. I'm sorry. We knew it. It's not like I had a choice. Oliver turned on me all of a sudden. He snapped and turned violent right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could, grabbed this gun, and I shot him. The bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He escaped from jail. See? That's justified self-defense. My buyer was only trying to protect himself. That remains to be seen, and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Lang, I leave the rest to you. As if you were the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight. Wait, I had nothing to do with the murder. The only person you should be arresting is Lance. Dad! Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easily, Mr. Ernest Amano. You tampered with the evidence so that you could cover for your son. Well, great dad you are, willing to risk it all. Truly touching. By the way, do you know why I'm really here? Now could I possibly know the answer to such an asinine question? You wooed me. You came all this way from across the sea just to see you, you know. You came to see me? The smuggling ring. The smuggling ring. What's that supposed to mean? I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Amano, about a case from 10 years ago. A case from 10 years ago? Oh, what's the name that you used here for that case? Sheena. It's known as the KG8 incident. The KG8 incident? Oh, so you remember it? Good. And you'll recall that the trigger in that case was the Amano Group scandal. Specifically, the charge of an internal smuggling ring. I knew it had something to do with a smuggling ring. Smuggling. There's that word again. At the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Amano's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Deveray. Father, even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Deveray, I already suspected that you were involved in the smuggling ring, Mr. Amano. Mr. Deveray was arrested in place of you, which is why when he broke out, you hid him from the police, right? You hid him in exchange for his silence on your little, dirty secret. Now. Please calm down. No, actually, he deserves to be kind of pissed right now. This is one of the only times I will justify Lang being pissed at someone. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Ha, pretend to be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct anyway for a nice long chat. What now? What the heck was that? I'll take you down to the precinct if you don't mind. How? Why is he out of jail? No, wait, does this happen before the first case? And I pressed C by accident instead of space. And who the heck are you? I'm Jacques Portsman, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Oh, Jacques, thank goodness you're here. Don't jerk me around. This is an Interpol case, so keep your paws off of my suspect. Sorry, but I can't comply. I've got the backing of the prosecutor's office. See, in this country, we prosecutors work with the police to bring cases to court. So if you could please cooperate with me here, that'd be great. Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Sorry, but I hate prosecutors, the whole lot of you. Guys, I arrested 2 suspects. Sir. Oh, I almost forgot. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, is it? I'd like to thank you. Thank me? Yeah, for working so hard to fulfill my goal. Hey, is that any way to thank someone? And what the heck is that supposed to mean? You were so relentless with Lance that you forced Ernest to tamper with the evidence. Thanks to that, I finally had a legitimate reason to arrest him. So how does it feel to bite the hand that feeds you? The hand that feeds me? I'm not sure I follow. It's no use pretending with me. You're the one, right? You're the corrupt prosecutor that's working for Mr. Amano and the smuggling ring, right? No. I have a feeling that it's fucking Jacques. I think it's Jacques, that fucking bastard. Who, murdered a guy. Who murdered his best friend. Who actually I just realised is the guy that's with him. So this case obviously takes place before the first investigations case. But that murdered his best friend in Edge's office. So, yeah. It's Jacques. No, I would never do such a thing. What the heck? Irontail's never wrong. Sure. In your prosecutor's office, there's definitely someone working with the ring. Ah, so Agent Lang suspected my relation to Mr. Amano. That must be the real reason behind his antagonistic attitude. On top of that, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? Yeah. There were non-stop rumors flying around about forged evidence with that guy. You're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors too, are you? The courtroom is a place where the truth is revealed. Ha! Well, don't worry. It's not only you. The whole lot of you can't be trusted. A prosecutor who never lost in 40 years. Every defendant must be found guilty. Fueled by that kind of thinking, is it any wonder that courts place nothing but falsities and lies? It would seem that his disdain extends beyond just me, all prosecutors. Prosecutors, the courts, why is this man so angry with us all? Rest assured, the next time we meet, I won't be so forgiving. So don't you forget it. Please wait. Agent Sheena, why is Agent Lang hate all prosecutors though? Lang is the head of the long-honored House of Lang in Zhangfa. The heads of all police-related divisions in that country were of Lang blood. What? What do you mean by that? Aren't they still? They were revered, but that was long ago. They don't hold that sort of sway anymore. And it was all because of the courts. How can that be? A prosecutor once withheld and tampered with the evidence one of the Lang detectives found. Would that be Manfred von Karma, by any chance? That evidence's purity was tarnished and cost the Lang family its honour and trust. But not all prosecutors are like that. Even so, Lang will never respect the court again, or any prosecutor. So Agent Lang is a man who hates all courts and is unwilling to forgive prosecutors. Man, what a piece of work that guy is. Come on, Jim, we'd better catch up. Yeah. We've still got to deliver that thing to the old man, after all. And in 5 minutes, by the way. Detective Gumshoe, I believe it's time we wrapped up and headed out ourselves. Yeah, are you going home, Mr. Edgeworth? No, I've done nothing but being entangled in one mess after another since my return. If it's alright with you, can you drop me off at my office? No problem, sir. Excuse me? Yeah, what is it? Thank you very much. It's okay, no need to thank me, pal. Just doing my job as a detective. I guess I was fooled pretty badly by Lance. Oh, cruel fate, what's a woman to do when she's been hurt by the one she loves? And to think I never realised my father was right there. I never said anything to him. I knew it, I'm a failure. And then she goes again talking to herself. Miss Pobbs, I wonder if you know why your father participated in the kidnapping. No, I have no idea. His father died while he was trying to stop Lance, which means that from the beginning, he had no interest in the staged self-abduction. Wait, then why did they... I believe it was because of your presence, Miss Parks. Me? Lance realized that the two of you were related, which is why he used you as a hostage to coerce Mr. Deveray into cooperating. Further, as a felon, he could not tell you of his real relation to you. However, as the Amano family butler, at the very least, he was able to watch over you. It was all he could do, but that was the shape of his overflowing love for you. Go on, speak your mind. That is... Thank you very much. You're welcome. Although there's no need to thank me. No, Lauren, stop. I mean, this man's so much older than you. Looks like you've completely stolen her away, Miss Edgeworth. Way to go, sir. Your technique is way beyond the level of a great thief. What are you going on about now? Wow, your deducing skills may be sound, but you have no street smarts. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. Yeah, I mean, he still hasn't figured out who I am at all. If you haven't remembered it all this time, because I'm just gonna have to say it. This isn't the first time we've met, you know. What do you mean, pal? Mr. Edgeworth, how do you know this girl? Looks like you've totally forgotten me too, Gummy. Gummy? What? Hey, maybe this will jog your memories. I promised I'd return this to you one day, remember? That's... What? That single piece of cloth took me back, far into my past. To that fateful day, 7 years ago, when I first met the then child Kay and Detective Gumshoe. Dun dun dun! Okay, our next case that we've got in investigations that we shall start next week is aptly and very rightly titled Turnabout Reminiscence. Let's go back. And yeah, we have Turnabout Reminiscence, and then after that we have Turnabout Ablaze. Yeah, we completed 3 episodes so far. Okay, this is going great. Yeah, we've got Turnabout Reminiscence so far. And yeah, new items unlocked in the gallery. Let's take a look at those. Gallery. Accolades, we've got 30% of them done. So we have 30% of those done. Which one was it? Where is it? Where's the achievement that I wasn't sure? Where is it? Private met the creator of the Blue Badger in front of the Gateway Island main gate in AA1 ME. Episode 3, aka Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth, episode 3, aka the one we just completed, so I'll have to go back and check that. But yeah, and then we've got a photo album. So these are the ones from Turnabout Airlines that we completed last week, and these are just, and then these from this one. These are the ones that I got from this case that was just completed today. And no, that's the first case. No, not that one, no sharks. But yeah, those ones. So yeah, those are 42% complete. Then we've got this character compendium, and we have, these. We have Rhonda Tenero, we have Camille Meal, and Addis Dynasty, by the way. We have Zinc LeBlanc II. We have Agby Hicks, the Captain, Mike Meekins, Wendy Woodbag, Emma Sky, Ernest Amano, Lauren Pops, Lance Amano, and then just the Men in Black and the Detective. So yeah, next week we have Turnabout Reminiscence on Friday and Sunday. I'm gonna leave up to you guys. So Minecraft, Stick Business, or Sims. That's gonna play. So yeah, but I think I kind of want to play Sticky Business at either, and the editing progress. I'm gonna wait until the ad has finished, before I ramble on and on and on. So yeah. So yeah. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but I'm not. So yeah. I'm just gonna wait till the ad is finished. I could have just snoozed it, honestly, but I didn't. So yeah, we just waited for the ad to end. But yeah, it should be over in a few seconds, anyways. But yeah, so I kind of want to get Sticky Business be one of either on Friday I want to do Sticky Business either Friday or Sunday, and then the other stream I'll either play on Oswork or I'll play The Sims. Probably on Oswork because we haven't played on that for a few weeks, for a little while. So yeah, also, okay, I posted on Twitter the other day, like last week I think, about ads, because the ad manager has changed. So I'm gonna ask this now, but I don't know how many of you are here. So how my ads are set up normally is that there's an ad, there's a 1 minute ad every hour plus pre-rolls. And what I want it to be set to be is a 3 minute ad maybe every hour and a half, every hour and a half to 2 hours with no pre-rolls. Hopefully I can probably try and maybe get it to be like that. So yeah, and one of my mutuals did say that he does it a 3 minute ad every hour plus no pre-rolls. But for me, 3 hour ads are very, as like a viewer, 3 hour ads, I know how annoying 3 minute ads. I know how annoying 3 minute ads can be. So I don't want to be like, oh, there's 3 minute ads every hour. Because I know a lot of people will be annoyed by me increasing the amount of ads. So I think I want to have it 3 minute ads every hour and a half to 2 hours, so I don't annoy you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna try and mess about with the new ad manager settings maybe tomorrow, because I am in work tomorrow, but I'm not in work. I'm doing the closing shift. So yeah, I've got tomorrow morning to mess about with that. But yeah, I want to mess about with ads and stuff. Cause the ad manager has improved now, in my opinion. So I think a lot of people might prefer. I mean, some people might prefer it how I just have it now, 1 minute ad every hour, plus pre-rolls. Some people might prefer 3 minute ads every hour and a half to 2 hours, and then no pre-rolls. I only put it on Twitter, and I only got one vote on that poll. So I might put out more polls on like Instagram and Discord to see how the rest of you guys think, because I know like a lot of my viewers don't have Twitter or don't use it regularly. So yeah, so I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post more. I'm gonna post more like ad related stuff. So yeah, and this, by the way, this only apply if you are watching on YouTube. This does not apply to you. This only applies to people who are watching on Twitch. So yeah. Anyways, let's go raid out. Let's go raid Spanky. He's playing a bit of Ape Escape, and it is his 4-year affiliate anniversary. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till this ad ends because I have a pre-roll, and so yeah. Let me tell you if you're ready for my character. /raid Stanky Rambles. Hope you've enjoyed this stream. All my socials, as always, are in the commands on Twitch. So the commands only really work when I'm live, because that's usually when I have Mixup open. They'll also be in the About Me section on Twitch if you want to find them there. They're also in the description on YouTube if you're watching over there. And yeah, go wish Spanky a very nice affiliate anniversary. And yeah, and I shall see you guys on Friday, 8:30 p.m. BST. I'm not sure what I'll be streaming yet, either Minecraft Sims or City Business. We'll see. See ya. Bye guys. Bye.